there can be no doubt that what we are celebrating today is the life of a patriot that was well spent. No solemn assembly, but resounding. We are here in difference, a life of character, a life of conscience, and true service. From generation to generation, the true meaning of life well spent has always been about the impact of man's life on human civilization. This is the reason philosophers say the greatness of a man consists in the indelible SAMCOM. This must be the reason the great British philosopher Samuel Butler says, to be dead is to be forgotten by men. He says those who are not forgotten are not dead, but their good memories live forever in the hearts of men. And yet, in the words of the immortal sage, Chief Obafemi Awolowo, a man must make his life worth a value. Otherwise, his journey to this world is meaningless. And I said, as a quote, when you were born, you cried, and the world rejoiced. Live your life in such a manner that when you die, the world cries and you rejoice. Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, there is a sense in which Akechi's life tells a riveting story of how sacrifice and heroism can help foster the cause of history. I remember how this great man lies still here before us, now too uninsured risk in service of a greater goal for his people. This was at the heat of the avoidable farmers, herders, kidnapping, and other security challenges in our country. I am sure you remember his indomitable interventions when it was tough to speak loud. He, without fear, so huge sacrifice that many considered a suicide mission, took to the palace. He condemned inequality, complacency, divisiveness, double standards. He asked for the supremacy of the rule of law. He asked for fairness, love, and true nationalism. He faced the troubling issues of the times with the candor of a statesman. He not only condemned indolence of thought, he provided solutions that guaranteed peace. He not only talked, he wrote his talk. He advocated for a new thinking, a new action, and a new direction. He took these risks against evil powers whose might is determinate, finite, and final. He took a great race at the peak of his re-election attempt. I can as well remind you of yet another heroic deed of the late Governor Oluwarotimi Akeredolu, SANCON. How can we forget his clear posture and position on the very constitutional matter of true federalism? I remember till today the bellow of his voice as we ruminate in the quiet chamber of his quarters on the need and strategies for survival and self-preservation for the race and for Yoruba. He said, and I quote, "How can we claim the audacity of leadership if we fail the litmus test of protecting the people when adversity, persecution, humiliation, and death come? Will we not be worth our salt if we betray our oaths of office and natural commission of leadership for which we are known?" I believe this, together with similar war cry by his colleagues of the southwestern states of Nigeria, led to the establishment of the Southwest Security Network, codenamed Amotekun, that you can see here right now, which will eventually transform into state police. This, in my view, is the type of leadership our nation needs today, from the family unit even to the highest level in the land. We need men who will look neither left nor right, but gaze straight ahead to sacrifice their personal comfort for the greater good of majority. We will never forget the life-changing interventions you used in the power of government to bring the people of Òyìnbó State. We remember and still benefit from these industrialization efforts, infrastructural projects, his intervention in education, health, and human capital development. We remember Akete, your vision, your laughter, your warmth, and your firmness. We remember your zeal and compassion for the most vulnerable. Most importantly, we will continue to remember forever your integrity, character, and faith. Arákùnrin Olúwarótìmí Ọdúnayọ̀ Akérédolú, SANCON, you were a true commander, visionary in thinking, focused in execution, and dedicated in sustenance. You were a true patriot. You were loyal to friendship, shared beliefs, and justice for the weakest. Akete, you came, you served, and as we gather here today to pay our last respect to the born leader, I ask you to look at the remains of a man who asks not what Ondo State can do for him, but leader and pathfinder, Oluwarotimi Oduayo Akeredolu, a true patriot of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Here lies the remains of our governor, who led us from the front and took us across many rivers from where he could not return. Here lies the remains of a fighter, an all-time general who fought and won for justice, liberty, prosperity, rule of law, human rights, good governance, and most importantly, character and courage. Here lies Oluwarotimi Oduayo Akeredolu, the main issue of conscience in the dark days of trouble for the nation. Here lies the man who was the perfect representation of the true spirit of our state, Ondo State, and its people. Brilliant, bold, strong, unwavering in his conviction. Now, to the Akeredolu family, we thank you for giving us a great gift of Aketi Itana, to the land of his birth. Thank you for giving us a man of honor and of culture. To the legal profession, thank you for nurturing and producing a mind of learning and of culture. Our particular condolences to his wife and our dear mother, Chief Mrs. Betty Ayam Akeredolu. The children, Oluwarotimi Jr., Temi, Yejide, Babajide, as well as all of us brothers and sisters. We feel your grief and loss, but thank you still. Thank you for giving Ondo State and Nigeria your very best. Thank you for you offered him, an ordinary man who did extraordinary things in our lives. Thank you for providing the warmth, love, and confidence that helped him even in the great battle against sickness and death. On behalf of the Ondo State government, which he led historically for the past 7 years to the end, which I now have the privilege to also lead, still carrying his flag. I thank Governor Oluwarotimi Oduayo Akeredolu for spearheading a new Ondo State, which I now lead as governor. May the gentle soul of our Akure, Oluwarotimi Oduayo Akeredolu, SANCON, rest in perfect peace. Thank you for listening.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency, the Governor of Ondo State. Over to you, Tope Alabi. Jerusalem, orin mi.